I hope it was useful for you to answer the previous questions. As one can find, in the open sources only 10 or maximum 20% of all existing job vacancies that are on the market. The question is, how to find other 80 or 90%? Only those vacancies are published which employers can formulate somehow. There is a clear understanding that a person is needed to perform a specific function. The remaining 80 or 90% of vacancies simply exist in the employer's heads. They go through a maturation process. Some vacancies require around a month to mature, some from 4 to 6 months. While there are very complicated vacancies, they take up to a year to grow up. It is also possible that a vacancy requires a year to be formulated in a company. If you remember, we drew a picture with a potential hole. It is the reality you are in now, and you ought to jump into a different reality, which you currently do not see. You need some time to go through this process from one reality to another, in which you will find the best opportunity. In the same way, while you are moving from the old reality to the new reality, the opportunity also matures in the consciousness of the people on the other side of the market. It also needs time to mature. What is interesting is that this process happens almost at the same time. This is what I see. You can believe me or not. It's up to you. I can suppose I know it because usually go through this process from the both sides of the market, supply and demand, with the person who looks for a job on one side and the employer who hires on the other. The employer might not exactly know what they want, and it takes time to clear the picture. This job description passes through many changes and is improved in the process. Coinciding many facts, I have discovered an interesting regularity. As soon as a person appears who is ready to move to a new qualitative level, at the same time, in a business owner's head appears a necessity for a new person, new power, new strength, new potential that will come and reveal themselves in their business. At that moment, a vacancy is created. The person and the vacancy mature on both sides simultaneously until that magical moment happens when the two of them meet and catch each other. Every time when we receive an order from an employer, they say, I need approximately this type of a person, this type of a candidate. I show them the candidates and they say, no, definitely not this one. They rather go from what they don't want. This is not what I want. I don't know what I want exactly. We go through the maturation process together to discover what candidates they need to go forward with their business and move to a new qualitative level. I see it takes a long time the employer to get there. Sometimes job description changes totally, minimum from 30% during our research up to 100%. Initially, as a researcher, I was looking for a specific candidate. Then the client decided that he needs a different candidates who will be doing very different job. Therefore, I will name the new role differently and will look for a candidate in different places and resources. We need to understand, become aware of an unusual angle related to a personnel selection. Now you need to change the position of the job seeker to the position of a client, of a company. Look, please, what happens from the other side's perspective. Now you are a job seeker, and here is the employer. You have a goal that passes the test by your acquaintances and your consultant. Imagine that you have swapped places. You take the place of the employer who looks at the resume and the goal written in it from their perspective and decide whether they will hire this person or not. Your task is to observe, working in the group or individually, all the risks involved from hiring this person, but from the employer's point of view. Those risks can be very different. Take, for example, the story about fraud taking place in some bank, conducted by employees who have access to the databases. Imagine you are the employee or head of a department or a director of this bank. You have your own customer base and you are searching for an employee who will have access to this customer database. You need to understand that before hiring a candidate, you need to have a clear idea. What are the risks that the bank will face with this candidate? If you hire a driver for your business, what are the risks associated with hiring a driver? If you hire a nanny, everybody understands the risks involved with hiring a nanny because you entrust her with the most precious thing you have, your child. Everybody knows what qualities a good nanny should have to avoid those risks. We call it "don't step on the rake." As the employer, we have the responsibility to foresee all the risks involved with hiring a particular candidate. Your task is, by looking at your own resume but from the employer's side, to assess all the potential risks associated with this candidate if you hire him or her. Wish you good luck in exploring of the employer's risks.